Catch 'em in the pasture, run 'em in the pen, work 'em on the Sundays, do it all again. Race 'em in the sand, buck 'em in the mud, drip a cowboy's sweat, bleed a cowboy's blood.
I'm Zeke Thurston, 2016 World Champion Saddlebrock Rider, and you're watching The Pepperidge Stewart Show.
What? I don't even know what he said. Don't even know what he said, but that was Zeke Thurston. At some point, I don't know, we're going to get some, we've had a lot of music people in here. At some point, we're going to get someone to re-record that intro. That intro was made many, many moons ago by the Wellfeds, J.D. Wellfed, when he came in and recorded that. And a funny thing is, there's two different versions of that intro that J.D. did, and the other one, at the end of it, he says something to Tex about Tex, but Tex is no longer with us, so he's gone. Speaking of Tex, his birthday's coming up this month. They're going to have a birthday thing for him, I think. But anyway, enough of that. You can look up more stuff on him at Tex Travis on Facebook. His Facebook page is still up there. Check it out. Look around. What's happening today is stuff. We got a lot of odd news stories for you guys. We got some horse news, some cow news, some TV news, and Randy's got news.
I hope I do.
You do?
I've been in a mad panic today.
You do? Or you don't?
Or the Mavs are playing.
The who?
The Mavs.
What is that?
I don't follow basketball. Don't make me explain it. I didn't even know who they were playing. I had to ask somebody today, and I think he told me Boston, and I didn't realize Boston had a team. But that's not their fault. I don't know a lot about basketball. So
Boston Celtics.
Okay.
Larry Bird.
Oh, okay. Now
Larry Bird.
I do know now. All
Larry
right.
Bird. Larry from French Lick, Indiana. You know that?
Nope.
Golly.
All I know is Mavs game today.
Dallas Mavericks. They are not playing in reunion. It's gone.
I knew that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Making sure. They do have the AAC.
And then that's the extent of my Dallas Mavericks knowledge.
And, you know, a fun fact about the AAC, it's not that old and it leaks when it rains. Is that weird?
Oh.
I remember saying that on the news, that it was raining inside the AAC.
Great promotion for people to go to basketball. All right.
Yeah. As much rain's been going on here lately, I think they could probably be swimming in there.
Maybe.
Probably.
Mm-hmm.
What are we going to do? We're going to talk to Anita Waggoner. She wrote the book called Freedom. She's putting together a movie, Freedom, and she's going to tell us all about that today. So we're going to talk to her in a little bit. We got some movies, shows on Netflix. What are you watching? What have you been watching on Netflix? What have you seen?
I've been looking for recommendations. So I see these trailers here. A couple of these, I think I've heard the name of it, but I haven't seen the trailers yet. Some of these look good. I just started rewatching Glow because I went through a whole list. I was like, you add a million things to your list and you go through looking for something to watch. You're like, I got nothing to watch. So I restarted that. I'm almost to the end of it. I'm going to be looking for something else. I tried to watch Yellowstone, but I got 2 or 3 episodes in, and then Spectrum pulled the whole series out from under the rug. I couldn't see the rest of season 1. Might just be my technical issues, but
there's so many different places now that's popped up on, depending on what services you have. You might can check it out. So what happened? What did you see?
Let's see. I'd probably have to go back and restart. I know the first episode for sure because I saw that one probably twice. Then there was the guy that joined. They blew up rerouted the river. They did that because the housing development.
Oh, yeah.
And everything. So they rerouted the river, made that guy pretty mad. I thought that was kind of funny. But, I mean, they tried to ask nicely. He said no, and they were like, okay, we can do that too. What else was there? A few other storylines were starting to pick up, but I'd have to probably go back and rewatch.
I can't remember. It's been so long ago. I don't remember. You were talking about Glow. Have you seen? I've seen all of these. I don't know. I guess it's a guilty pleasure show, whatever. But on Netflix, have you or have you not seen all of Working Moms?
I've not seen that.
What?
It's on my list, but I have not watched
Holy
it.
cow. That show. I don't know. It's pretty good. It's pretty good. I don't know. So you haven't watched it yet?
No.
Okay, so I wasn't sure what it was. I'd heard it was kind of funny, whatever. So I turned it on to see. And after like the first 10 seconds, 15 seconds of the show, I was just like, what in the world is happening here?
Do I want to ask why, or do you want me to just watch it and experience it myself?
Oh, you'll
okay.
see. You go, oh, I see why these guys are watching the show. Huh. That's weird. But yeah, so it's pretty entertaining. It kind of goes off the rails a little bit, but it's pretty good. So I'm trying to think what else you could watch on there that you haven't seen. We do have some trailers. I don't know if we got trailers over there. We do. Let's do this. This one here, I have the Bricklayer. The Bricklayer I've seen. I watched it. I think it's an actual, I don't know if it's a series or a movie. It's about a rogue insurgent blackmails the CIA by assassinating foreign journalists and framing the government. Isn't that the storyline to all those shows? All of them? The agency has to lure out their most brilliant yet rebellious operative out of retirement to unravel the international conspiracy. I think that's every single one of those shows has the exact same storyline.
There's a lot of shows that I can think of that.
But it was pretty. It was pretty entertaining. I don't know. See what you think.
When I hold a brick in my hand, I know exactly what it is and what it will do. Its form is its function. That gives me peace.
Can I help you?
I'm the bricklayer.
Sir, this is urgent.
What am I looking at?
Victor Radek.
We need to bring Vale out of retirement.
What do you want?
Can an old friend stop by to say hello?
Someone's trying to blackmail the CIA.
He can bring down our entire global network. That's why I want you to go to Greece to fix it with her.
It's a big assignment for you. First time in the field, no supervisors?
I'm the supervisor.
Of course you are.
So what's our move?
I have to find him and end this.
You should have stayed where you were. Because now that you're back, it's going to be hard for you to leave again.
Clearly.
I warned you not to get involved.
You can't hide from me. I'll never, ever stop coming.
Oh, a little less cologne next time.
Yes, dear.
We're going on a manhunt, not building a chimney.
Never do a job without my tools.
You know what show I want to see, though?
What series? What show is that?
I have not seen this trailer yet, so I do want to see this. But Bryan Cranston, who everybody knows as Walter White, a few other things. To me, he will always be Malcolm's dad. But this time, he's back on the screen as a New Orleans judge. Apparently, he's forced to confront his own deepest convictions when his son is involved in a hit and run.
Oh.
There's an organized crime family involved. Apparently, things get a little tangled up. So let's see that one.
What have you got me into?
I've got this.
I don't think you have.
What's your emergency? Hello? Are you there?
Dad, I hit somebody, and I left him. I left him there.
Oh my God. Don't tell anyone.
Not ever. I can do this. I can keep you safe if no one ever hears about it.
The boy you hit this morning is Jimmy Baxter's son.
The head of the most vicious crime family in the city.
Whoever you are, wherever you are, you will be found.
I need a favor. No questions asked.
It wasn't a hit and run. It was a hit. There's no other explanation.
Look, if you want a war, I'll give you a war.
We go big. We go big once.
My best friend just threw me in the deep end.
I've got this, John.
I don't think you have.
I promise you, it's going to be all right.
I will say this. You do want to check that out. I have started season 2 of that yesterday. And it's pretty entertaining. Pretty entertaining. Pretty good stuff. So that is one of the Netflix series you do want to check out. Good stuff. Good for everyone. But speaking of everyone that is out there in the world of stuff that's happening, there's books out there that are happening. There's a movie that's about to happen. The book is called Freedom. The writer's Anita Waggoner, and we're talking to her. What is going on?
Well, not too much. Waiting to talk to you.
All right. So you've kind of done a little bit of everything from, you had a big lodge there in Oklahoma, stock contractor with bulls. You've got your books written, and so what's your next big thing?
Well, the next big thing is to move it into the film. We're in pre-production on the film Freedom, so that's where my heart is. My efforts are right now. Okay,
and you want to give us a little backstory on Freedom, to kind of give them an idea what the movie's going to be?
Sure, it's a true story about the time that I spent 13 years in Freedom after going through a divorce. I meet a Freedom, Oklahoma cowboy in Las Vegas at the National Finals Rodeo, and he talked me into go to visit the ranch in Freedom. And a matter of weeks later, it seems, I jumped all in and got involved in his bucking bull business and ended up staying there for 13 years. Freedom is a small town in northwest Oklahoma, between Alva and Woodward, kind of directly south of Dodge City, Kansas. Kind of a hard spot to find, a small little town of 179 people. So I left the big city and went to the country for a while.
So what? So what was the? So tell us kind of what that was like. What were you doing before you jumped in and headed to Oklahoma?
Well, I was married 20 years. My husband and I had car dealerships in the state of Washington. We had 7 new car dealerships. So I was kind of living the life of Riley, actually, and had a pretty good life there. But the marriage kind of fell apart, and I went on to the next, I don't know. I've always been enterprising, I guess you might say.
Right.
Jumped right in.
Yeah, okay. All right. And so the movie you said you've I don't remember. Have you started shooting already? I thought I seen something.
No, we haven't. No, we're in pre-production, and we're going to shoot it in around the Freedom area. Maybe do a little bit in Texas, actually. But kind of still waiting on the funding to hit the bank. So that's always that's our last thing. We're ready to go. Just have to have the money in the bank and working on it.
Okay.
I'm sure there were a lot of different things that all came together for this story of your life, but it does sound like, this cowboy really swept you off your feet. How long have you been together? Or what's the timeline on this story that you're telling?
Well, we were together 13 years. Unfortunately, I left Freedom in 2009. And unfortunately, in 2019, he was killed in a car accident, although we remained friends. So he is no longer living, but he loved the story, and he was anxious for me to get the movie going. And I know he looks down on us, and, you know.
Well, I can see in your smile that I'm sure that you're doing them right and the story right and everything is really going to speak for itself there. And this is, I mean, it was a really big change for you. What would be your advice? And I feel like I might guess what this would be, but I'll let you say it. What would be your advice if someone, you know, does come to a crossroads there and they have a different opportunity to go off in a different direction? I'm guessing that your advice might be to jump all in and take it. Is that true?
Yeah. Can you see it in my eyes?
Yes, yeah.
Well, when I was a young girl, I grew up around rodeo, and my grandfather was a stock contractor, but I left that small town of Okomak, Washington, in the, I think it would have been in the early 70s, and moved to Seattle and had a career as a paralegal. Married my husband, got involved in the car business. But it was easy for me to think about going back to that country lifestyle. And the minute he drove me into town in Freedom, I'm like, man, I'm home. I just felt good about it. Now, my advice would be, why not? You know, hell yes, I was going to say. Life is short, you know. I don't turn down anything that I'm always open for something new and exciting. And that's why I jumped into the film business, because I thought, why not? I can do it. And we're so close now.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, it's just another way to continue it on and bring the story bigger and better and keep it going.
Yeah, relive it. I'm going to relive it. I'm excited.
And so I want to ask about the book and now the film. How many of the details do you think everything is exactly how it was? Do you think you had to go back and maybe change some things for storytelling, or either because maybe you feel like it comes across better that way, or just because maybe something's too personal, or just, can you elaborate on how close to the story do you feel like it is?
I'd say 99.5%. I just told the story. When I drove away from Freedom in 2009, it was in my head. I thought, I need to tell this story. I need to write it. And since I got back to Arizona, I started writing, and everything just flowed. I did an outline, and I could remember everything so vividly, like I can today. So it was easy to write. It's just the true story. I can't think of anything that's really not true in it. It's all true.
All right, and what about I know I'd seen something somewhere. Have you gotten a few of the characters already picked out as far as who's going to play a couple of the parts? You're still working on that?
Well, we're working on it. We haven't really picked any of the male. You can't really take those steps until money's in the bank. But I do have a female character that I'm going to stick with to play Cheyenne, who's the lead female character. Her name is Lisa Varga. Mm-hmm. We did a bull ride. We put on a bull ride 2 years ago, went back to Freedom and had a weekend bull ride, and she showed up and met everybody, and everyone loved her, and she's just a natural. If I were 20 years younger, we could be twins. I mean, she understands my story, and she'll do a great job playing Cheyenne. But we have the rest of the roster to fill. Okay.
All right. So are you still in? Are you still in around Freedom, or where are you at now? You go back north?
No, I ended up in Idaho.
Whoa.
I'm close to Coeur d'Alene, a little town called Post Falls. I moved up here about 5 years ago. I was still living in Arizona once I left Freedom, and then I have a daughter who lives here, and so I was just kind of looking to kick back a little bit and get out of the rat race, and so I ended up in Idaho.
That's got to be a heck of a climate change to go from Oklahoma to Arizona, nice. And then you go up and it's cold.
Yeah, it's been a long, cold winter, but summer's finally here. We're having some nice 80-degree days now, and so I'm enjoying it.
Yeah, it's June now. I'm sure it's beautiful.
Yeah. I'm watching the weather in Arizona and Freedom and Texas and watching those tornadoes, and I'm thinking, wow, I'm in a pretty good place.
So do you have, other than working on, you got the book out, you got the movie in progress, pre-production stuff, what other projects are you working on? You got anything else you're working on, anything in the works?
Well, I have 2 other books that I've written over time, and I just finished kind of a rewrite on both of them. One's called The Gambler, and the other is called The Ranch at Huckleberry Ridge. And when I write, I always throw in some Western. It's just kind of in my blood, so there's always a little Western theme going on in my stories and my books. And they're based a lot on some of my personal life experiences. Other than that, the film, getting it off the ground and staying in touch with people and opening doors and closing doors, that's really kept me busy.
Okay.
I work on it daily.
So when the people that you've gone to with the film, those you've been looking to to get into or invest in and things like that, how have they received it? They're really on board with it and ready to get it going.
Oh, it's an award winner. I mean, every contest we enter, film screenwriting type contest, we always, if we don't win it, we place. Everybody loves it. I mean, 5 stars. I don't know how many awards we've gotten, but several. And like I said, every contest we enter, we get an award. So it's well received. Yeah. Everybody I've talked to about it is very well received.
Okay. Yeah.
Book reviews are 5-star.
Okay. Yeah, I've seen it pop up here and there in just different places. I see the book pop up and the movie stuff and that. So if somebody's looking for these books and want to pick these books up, where's the best place for them to pick them up?
Well, they're on Amazon, but we have a Friends of Freedom page on Facebook.
Okay.
So if you get in touch, join that group and get in touch with me. I can also send you a signed copy. But other than that, you can get them on Amazon.
Okay, so all the books are listed on Amazon. What about a website if they want to go see what you're doing, or maybe somebody wants to, help with the movie? How do they get in touch with that?
We welcome them. We have a website. It's www.freedommovieproject.com.
Okay. And it's got everything, all your contact, everything right there. Just send it. Send it to you. Okay. All right. Well, we'll sure send them that way.
I was gonna say I'm looking forward to getting to the point where you have that trailer ready, because I don't know if you were in the waiting room a minute ago and we're watching a few other trailers. We'll absolutely screen that, because when I'm listening to you, talking about winning or placing and these other places that I think all they need to see. I haven't read a whole lot about the story, I'll admit that, but just hearing what you're saying, and I can see the passion in you when you're telling the story, that it just speaks for itself, that someone having that story to share, you can see that coming through you, and I can see that the project is going to come together. I know you're in a stage right now where it's a whole lot of work, but I can't wait for it.
Well, we have a lot of YouTube our YouTube videos on YouTube. So if you just look up Freedom Anita Waggoner on YouTube, you'll see a lot of little short videos about it. We don't have an actual trailer yet. That'll come when the money hits the bank.
Okay.
Always waiting on that money.
Right.
And then I wanted to repeat for everybody that, again, if you're looking for a copy of the book, look up Friends of Freedom. You can find it on Amazon, but if you want to get a copy that might be signed, or maybe reach out to them personally at Friends of Freedom on Facebook.
Yep.
Yeah, and the book itself is just Freedom.
Freedom. Okay. All right, Anita, well, I know you're busy. You got a lot of stuff going on, and we'll let you get back to it, but we do appreciate you visiting with us and letting the folks know about it so they can look into it and get interested in this movie coming out, so we can check it out when it hits.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay.
So it's in the pre-production, getting there, getting ready. I think it's going to be good. All the stuff that I read, it sounds like a good story. I do believe it's going to be a good show.
That is, I'm I know she's in a stage that's got to be a busy place where you're trying to line everything up and get everything scheduled and set, but that is going to be a nice one. I do want to see that.
But will it be a trigger warning?
Why do you say that?
Because there is a show coming out this month. In the month of June. The June month. Because some of you guys go back way later to watch or listen to this. So anyway, Trigger Warning is coming out June 21st. It stars Jessica Alba. Was she also in that other trailer we watched? Or was that a different person? Anyway, Jessica Alba stars in Trigger Warning, coming to Netflix June 21st. She's going to be a skilled Special Forces commando. Hopefully she's not going commando. She's going to take ownership of her father's bar after he suddenly dies and soon finds herself at odds with a violent gang running rampant in her hometown, just like every other movie we've talked about for the last 5 years.
Well, really sell it.
But see what you think.
I'm sorry about your dad, but I'm glad you're home, kid.
Senator.
Parker, welcome back. People like you around here. They like Harry, or liked him. I'd like to keep it that way.
I don't think his death was an accident.
Parker, stay out of it. See if there's a safe. So what do you do for the government?
How's on?
What do you know about Senator Swan?
What the hell you got into? How much does Parker know about this? Too much.
This is about more than just my dad. I need to know the truth. If you pivot on that back foot, you won't punch like such a little bitch.
You want to know what really happened to Harry?
Don't nobody know my trouble but God.
Everybody's pointing everywhere. It's like we're. I feel like Spider-Man in a car with a spider, and I'm freaking out. I saw that on the internet. I did. Yeah, I saw Spider-Man in a car with a spider, and he was freaking out, screaming like a 10-year-old girl.
I always leave this show with videos that I have to go home and search online.
It's
Spider-Man,
hilarious.
Spider car.
It's on my TikTok. It's
Okay.
my husband.
It's Jansen.
Who's freaking out, and it's the greatest video ever.
That is going to make it even more entertaining.
Yes. We got. Everybody likes the Guinness Book of World Records. Everybody wants to get in the Guinness Book of World Records. I don't know why. I guess I don't know. I think it's to me. I think that is got to be a generational thing. Like before the internet.
I don't know.
Because you got to think, when, I don't know, back in the old days, as they say, back when I was a kid, you didn't have the internet, but you had the Guinness Book of World Records.
That big, thick book.
Yeah. And so you just flip through there and read the books and find out who had the longest train or who is this. And you're just going through there.
And you would go get that book at
the book fair. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
It was
the
like
book fair.
$40.
Right. And you would go get the book and you'd go through, you look. So there are still people today trying to get in the Guinness Book of World Records.
I mean, I think it's the idea of like, maybe you have this weird talent, but you want to do something no one else can do. So
I think so. Because I don't know when it was, but it was, I think a couple of years ago we had a story every single week, one or two, of some stupid Guinness World Records thing. There was an old dog. There was a cat. There was somebody knocked over some cards. It's just always something just weird. Well, this one here is odd as well. Somebody has got a 6 foot 4 inch Holstein steer.
My jaw just dropped.
Which a Holstein for Chick-fil-A is what's on their sign. Those are Holsteins, the black and whites. Which those are tall cows anyway. But this one is 6 foot and 4 inches.
That's taller than most people.
Yes.
He could
probably go down with the Mavs, play a little basketball tonight. He's a 6-year-old Holstein steer from Oregon that has been officially named the tallest in the world at 6 foot 4 and a half. You got to get that half in there because a lot of those A lot of them 6'4", they want to count their half inch.
Look at that sweet face.
So,
Aww.
Misty Moore, sounds like she's in a Guinness World Records, said the 6-year-old steer Romeo has lived at the facility since he was rescued from this. He was rescued, as they say, from a dairy farm.
Why do you air quote rescued?
Because people and their words are weird. Because they're like, I rescue. Because people go to the horse sale all the time and they go buy these horses from the sale, and then they go home and put them on the internet and go, I rescued this horse.
Oh, well, it was
like,
for
you didn't
sale.
Rescue it. You bought the horse. You went to the dairy and you bought this calf. You didn't rescue it, woman. So anyway, she bought this calf from the dairy farm, which he was going to be veal, which I wouldn't eat that. I would not eat that.
Well, he wasn't 6'4" at the time.
But that's what she rescued him from becoming veal.
Okay. Well.
Which veal, I don't know why anyone would eat that. But then people eat weird stuff, like raw oysters and things like that. So they eat weird things. But anyway, she decided to seek out the world records because he was getting so tall, and she found out that the previous record holder was only 6'1".
See, like I said, you got to top that record.
So he got 3.5 inches. So this guy, Romeo, has got 3.5 inches over Tommy. Bet that's the first time that's been said.
How long till you think somebody else is going to come out with a 6'5"?
I'm sure they're working on it. I bet they are feeding the crap.
Somebody's got one that's close. He's
like,
also
come on.
6'4".
He's like, come on, eat some more.
Someone's got one that's also 6'4". They're going out every day with the tape measure, just waiting.
He's going to measure that sucker. Like, don't trim it. Don't trim his feet. Nothing. Just keep measuring. Keep measuring.
I didn't think about that. If you don't trim, is that cheating?
Yeah. Exercise. Bulk up. You need to get that extra inch out of you.
All of a sudden, a new TikTok comes out about stretching your calves, like legs and femurs.
Yeah.
I think they have that. Yoga. It's called yoga. Well, they stretch their calves. Yoga. Or you can do goat yoga. I said, oh, you know what? There's a video I need to show. Too bad I couldn't get it on here. But you can find it on the internet of a lady trimming a dog's toenails. And then something happens. I can't tell you. Just got to watch. But anyway, what else we got?
Let's see. I got a few other animal stories.
Animals.
Short ones.
Animals in the news.
Animals in the news. Animal stories are always fun.
Always good.
We've got a couple of runaway animals. We've
Runaways?
got some runaway horses galloping through central London.
London, England.
This was a last-minute addition to the show, so I don't have the video, but if anyone stumbles across it online, it is kind of entertaining. They are downtown streets, buildings. You do have it? Okay.
Oh, you've got a video.
Yes. Yes. Yeah, and my favorite part is if you watch everybody in the background, some people turn to look, but most of the people don't even stop, don't even turn their heads. They just keep going like they're used to it. I'm like, there's no way that this doesn't draw attention. But there were military working horses doing an exercise with 6 soldiers, 7 horses, and then a sound of some concrete hitting the ground spooked a couple of them, and they started running. You can see one looks like he's covered in blood. It had to do with the thing they were practicing.
Okay. Well, yeah, they were tearing up.
Can we watch that one more time?
Yes, absolutely. Instagram just did some weird stuff, but yes, we sure can.
Look at those. And now. And go.
It's playing. It just doesn't have sound. Instagram, it's weird.
Yeah.
But they're running. They're running.
All right, we'll go. There we go.
Oh, at least it does look like they start to slow down, let someone catches it. Oh, that reminds me. Did you see the video of someone trying to catch and corral the horse on the highway? This might have been old, but I just saw the video recently and made me think of that.
Not.
I'll look for it. We'll have it next time. And then I have a story in Michigan.
Michigan, is it Compton?
That there are some animal control officers that have been trying to catch. You want to guess? Any guesses?
In Michigan, is it near Compton?
What type of animal they're trying to? They're trying to catch an elusive peacock.
Oh.
It's been on the loose for at least 2 days at the time of the story, which was on the 4th, so I hope they caught him by now. The student discovered the peacock as they were driving to school one morning, called in animal control. They almost captured it Tuesday, but it escaped again, leaving officers with scratches and, quote, a tree climbing experience we may need to train on in the future.
Uh-huh.
I can't wait for the body cam for those officers to get out.
Oh, there's got to be some footage somewhere of that.
The identity of the peacock's owner or where it came from is a mystery.
Nobody
That's gonna be
knows.
a hard animal to hide.
If somebody's missing their peacock, they're gonna know they're missing it because those things are loud. Yeah. Make a lot of noise. Peacocks are crazy. Oh, you know peacocks. Speaking of peacocks, I watch a lot of stuff on Peacock. I've been watching. I'm still on the boat show. They've got so many episodes and seasons of that. Different places still watching that. But I seen the HBO Max. You know they dropped the HBO, so they just go by Max. And Peacock may be doing the same thing. I don't know. What would they be? So what else you got?
We got one more. You may have seen, did you see the video of this giraffe that took the toddler out of the car?
Yes.
Oh my gosh. There's some video floating around both from the car that was behind them and from the parent that was videotaping their toddler, their little 2-year-old. You know, you go through those animal
those drive-through
adventures. Yeah, you get the windows open. Well, the giraffe comes down, and at first they think it's cute, and they're taping it, and then, you know, the toddler gets to be up close with the giraffe face, and then the giraffe just picks up the toddler right out of the car. I think I would have a heart attack. I would panic. Oh, you do? Yeah.
Oh, you got it? Let's take a look.
You want to feed the giraffe?
Yes, Mommy.
Feed him. Look, feed him. Come here. Look. Oh, look. Oh. You want to feed the giraffe? Feed him. Look, feed him. Come here. Look. Oh, look. Oh. You want to feed the giraffe?
Yes. And then in the story, it does say the family then took the girl to the shop and bought her a toy giraffe.
I don't think that kid wants a giraffe after that.
I don't know. Giraffe is my favorite animal, and
not if you got attacked by one.
That little kid is going to cherish that toy forever.
You got attacked by it. Like, let's go to the gift shop and get you another one.
Remember this forever. No, I mean, she's a toddler.
She's going to wake up a nightmare with the giraffe beside you.
I mean, parents panic because we're scared. The toddler, I didn't hear. Did she scream? I mean, we know she's safe now, so that's why we can laugh and have a lighthearted story because we know she's safe. But she probably thought it was fun.
Maybe thought it was part of the ride. She's like, hey, we go on the giraffe ride.
She's going to be so disappointed when they go back next summer and no animals pull her out of the car.
Like, I didn't get pulled out, none. We need to go drive through a bear camp. You never been to the bear camp? There was some guys that did get dragged out of a car at a bear camp last week. I think it was Cedar Springs. But RFID tags. What is happening with that? Did you send another tag over there? You got a tag or not?
Yes, we could tell the story, and then it reminded me of a meme that you had shared before that I thought was pretty funny.
So I don't know, this tag thing's coming up again. It's been in place for a long time, where any of your cattle that you sell that are over, I forget the months, whether it's maybe it's 18 months, 6 months, something like that. And if it's part dairy, it's got to, even if it's a baby calf, it's got to have the metal identification tag. Well, they've done that forever. And now they're pushing the new law where they're wanting them to all have electronic RFID tags.
Okay.
So instead of having to catch the animal and grab its ear and read the tag. I don't know if anybody's ever seen these little metal tags. They're about this long, and they've got little bitty numbers stamped on them.
But don't you still have to be pretty close to scan it, though?
Oh, yeah. You got to hold and look at the tag, and it's a metal tag. Well, these RFID tags that they're wanting to do now are just like small earrings. You put the earring in, and then you can scan it with a scanner.
Well, that's what I mean. Don't you have to be close to scan it?
No, you can just you can be 20 foot away and just scan. So they're wanting to put these tags, and all these, I don't know, different cow associations and stuff are throwing fits, and RCAF has put out a letter where they're talking about stuff, and They said they're going to fight against the implementation of this disastrous rule that infringes on the freedoms and liberties of our nation's independent cattle farmers and ranchers. The government overreach at its worst. So they're thinking the government's outreaching. But what it is, basically, they're doing is they want to know where it comes from. Where'd the cow come from? Because if you do have a cow that goes to a packing plant or gets really sick and falls out, like, okay, where'd it come from? What does it have? So we can figure out what's going on in this area.
Right. You have to trace back to where it came from and then monitor all the other cows that were there. It makes sense.
And then what, if it went through a sale, what other cows was it? What other, cows was it in contact with? Where did it go? When it left that sale, did it just go to this place? Did it go to there? And then they resold it? Did it went here? Where did it go? So it's just a traceability thing. But a lot of a lot of associations and things are just thinking it's old. They're all in the old school mindset of, well, who's, they're looking at, well, who's making money off this? Who's selling the tags? Who's doing this? Who's doing that? But I don't know. I see both sides of it. I see some people, it's like, hey, we don't want to do that. Why are you messing with us? And then other places, hey, we want to know what's going on. So I see both sides of it, but that's what's going on right now. And all the people that are really upset with it haven't read the rule that's been in place for a long time. It's just they're just wanting to do more of the RFID tags, which makes sense because they're easier to use. And I've used them from a company called AgX. And AgX Herd, you have your tags right there. See that tag? There's an app. You can download that app. It's free. You can go, if you go to Cattle Max or wherever else, all these other software places, they charge monthly fees, yearly fees, and it's ridiculous. Some of them are like $60, $80, $100, $200 a month. That app is free, and it does exactly what all the other apps do. You can you scan that tag with your phone. You can scan it with your phone, or you can type it in the number and whatever you want to do on there, and then you can put anytime wherever that cow's at, you can write down did that cow get shots? Okay, when did I give it shots? When did I do this? And it's all on that tag, and you can you scan with your phone, or you can get a hand wand where you can just walk out there and just like you're a Jedi with a lightsaber, and you can whop it around and scan all the cows, which seems a lot easier than having to grab a hold of each one of them.
See, I was picturing more of a security check.
Yeah, so you just act like you're a TSA, just wand them and go on with it. So, I don't know, I see both sides of it. But anyway, check out AgX, and all you got to do is buy their tags. And
are those already required, or is this a transition happening now?
No, they're already the ID tags are already required. They're just
RFID...
they're just trying to make it easier. I don't know what's happening over there.
Oh, we didn't even talk about that story.
I was like, what? What happened?
I got as far as the headline. There was the meme that the tag reminded me of. If you're writing nicknames on your tags, maybe take those off before you.
Everybody that's got cattle has got a few with those tags on there. Just saying.
And they're not wrong.
Yeah, they're not wrong at all.
We did have one more animal story we didn't get to that you had video.
We got video. Video of an animal?
Yeah, you were telling us about maybe another record.
A record?
Rabbit.
More records. I got a record player, a lot of records. I haven't used it in a while, though.
You're telling me there's this massive rabbit, 26 pounds.
Oh, that's a hefty rabbit.
That's a hefty rabbit.
Yeah, 26 pounds?
Yeah, and so you would think, maybe this is somebody's pet that they were, showing and growing and maybe feed them up. No, it was rescued on the side of the highway, taken to a rescue group.
Sure. Let's see what happened.
On the job for this CHP officer, he was called out after construction workers found, of all things, a huge rabbit hopping along Highway 17 in Santa Cruz. The crew found it near the Laurel Curve. Officers even gave her a name, Bugs. They then gave Bugs a cozy ride to the vet to get checked out. Here she is, recovering. Bugs is 28 pounds. They think she's a Flemish giant, a breed of rabbit, and might be somebody's pet. The owner has 4 days to come forward at Santa Cruz County Animal Services before the end of the stray hold period. Bugs does have injuries to her eye and her neck, but is expected to recover.
That is a huge rabbit. and it doesn't even need batteries. We got some horses that are healing people. Did you know that horses heal?
Well, of course they do.
Horses heal. So there is a campaign that ran through May, but it kind of extends all year, and it's Horses for Mental Health. And it's a nonprofit organization that is growed a lot, and they support a multitude of equestrians for its Seen Through Horses campaign. There's a campaign called Seen Through Horses campaign, and Forrest Smith was part of that. Tommy Howe was part of that deal. They've reached out to me to be part of that deal, so we're looking into that. So in coordination with the Mental Health Awareness Month, the third campaign unites celebrity ambassadors in support of the 80 nonprofit organizations providing mental health and well-being programs, a service incorporating horses in 36 states. It's a peer-to-peer campaign about mental health in rural communities, and they're going to tell you all about it.
My experience with rural communities, the first word that comes to my mind is heart.
I'm Jason Rittman, and I'm from Kansas. I was born in Minnesota, but grew up most of my life in Kansas. It's quiet, and you can hear yourself think, and it's peaceful. It's very peaceful.
Rural people are very proud, they're very hardworking, they're very honest, but yet they still have trouble asking for help.
I don't think I ever heard about mental health when I was growing up. If something was hard, you got through it.
I got to deal with my problems myself.
People in rural areas are taught not to talk about sensitive topics. As a result, a lot of people hold in what they're dealing with. People in rural America have a 64 to 68% greater likelihood to die by suicide than any other part of this country.
Mental health, at least in the instance of getting help, it just didn't seem like there were a lot of options.
In certain parts of rural America, a person may have to drive 5 or 6 hours to the nearest healthcare provider. Some people have relied on telemedicine, but nearly a third of households in rural America have no internet service. There's no broadband that's even available.
Gateway Family Services of Illinois has a waiting list of at least 100. Access to mental health for people who live in rural communities is really limited.
My name is Michael Rimley. I am a licensed clinical professional counselor. Gateway Family Services of Illinois is a mental health agency that works to help individuals across central Illinois heal from hardships.
We see a lot of people come to us who maybe have done talk therapy and it didn't work for them. And so they're looking for something unique and different.
Equine-assisted psychotherapy is an incredible approach because it helps people with all different disabilities and challenges in life.
I truly believe that everyone could benefit from partnering with a horse.
I've been married for 15 years this year, and I got 3 kids, 2 daughters and a son. They are the absolute joy in my life. As it happened for both my girls, they both went through their own anxieties and stresses. As we were going through these things, I would watch them change from these happy children that were outgoing to they were withdrawing from people and from experiences. And I was praying and I was hoping, and like nothing was getting better, and it felt like I was losing my kid emotionally. Like she was withdrawing, she was not sleeping at night. And that all completely changed when we came here.
Wash over me, let me fall from my surroundings.
When someone arrives to Gateway Family Services, we're going to meet them where they are.
The power of horses is something that many people underestimate. At times it's hard to understand how therapeutic they can be and the healing power that these magnificent creatures bring to the world.
At first it was like, this really works? And then seeing it happen, watching my daughter transform in front of my eyes just after a few weeks, and I was like, oh my gosh, this is happening. Like, I'm getting my daughter back.
During her time with Gateway Family Services, she had partnered with our horse. The horse's name is Kitty.
I saw this giant horse just so gently kind of coax her out of herself.
The day of her graduation, Kitty was not doing well.
She was just a few minutes away, and we found Kitty down. Now, Kitty's a 34-year-old Appaloosa, very strong mare, and that day we just realized it was her time.
Paige came out and kind of let us know what was going on with Kitty, that it was time for Kitty to pass on, and asked if we wanted to give our daughter a chance to say goodbye. And it was overwhelming. We had just recently lost my grandpa, and that was a goodbye that she didn't get to say. But yeah, we said, yeah, we would like to say goodbye. She would really like that.
I'll never forget when I watched her walk in and recognizing that Kitty was in her last few moments, and here's this girl who didn't get to say goodbye to her grandpa. She walked over and she grabbed Kitty's face and she said, "I love you, Kitty."
She was able to connect one last time with Kitty and say goodbye. And I see through that there was a lot of healing in her. There's something about the horses that just, in a gentle way, it forces you to see the trauma in your own soul and to want to face it.
Horses are amazing animals. They're powerful creatures that help us find healing, to experience hope, and to experience genuine connection that is life-changing.
To work on yourself, to better yourself, to find health is so good for you. It's just like having a personal trainer with weights. Why not for your brain? Why not for your emotions? Why not for your internal world? Why wouldn't you find help for that too?
Rural Minds is excited to get involved with the Seen Through Horses campaign. There are some wonderful programs across this country that incorporate horses into therapeutic programs. We highly recommend that people look into those programs and get involved if there is one in their community.
Partnering with the Seen Through Horses campaign was a breath of fresh air for us. And it is my hope that through this we can begin to raise more and more awareness of the power of horses and the power that they bring to the healing relationship. And whether they're in a rural area or urban area, that people have access to this life-changing work of horses helping humans heal. We encourage you to donate to a nonprofit charity partner during Mental Health Awareness Month, because it is heroes like you that make this life-changing work possible, that allows people to experience genuine connection and healing through a partnership with horses.
So, check them out and see what they're all about. Speaking of horses, I did post a video of Old Gray's colt that she had at the 1st of May. It's gotten a little bit bigger and a little more rambunctious, so I did put that on the internet so you can check that little filly out. She's running around and having a good time on the internet.
You named her yet?
No, we're still playing the name game. We're still trying to figure out the name and still trying to figure out the color, what color she's going to be. So we're working on that. So we don't know yet. It's still up for discussion.
I do have to ask you on that video. So I know mental health is important all year.
Yes.
But their promotion was focused during May.
Mm-hmm.
You were pretty clear earlier. It is June.
It is June. I'm sure on that.
Just checking.
It's June, by the way. Are you sure? What's today? What is today?
It's Mavs Day.
Oh, it's June, yeah. It's May 31st. Again? Groundhog Day? 31st again. It is June, by the way, in case anyone was not sure. What happens in June anyway? It gets hot. It's been raining, and it hasn't stopped forever. I don't know what else is happening. That's all I got. What else? You got anything coming up? You got any big plans? Any dog walking coming up?
That's about all I have this weekend. Just puppy that's grown bigger than we expected, and redoing patio. I tried to look around for events. I saw there's a tattoo convention this weekend.
Tattoos?
Looking around.
Tattoo convention? Pretty good. Fort Worth, if you look over at the Will Rogers Coliseum in Fort Worth, over by the new Dickies Arena, they've got some events going on over there. There's a cutting horse event that's going on now. Or actually starts tomorrow, but now, because that's when you're going to see this, will be tomorrow. Anyway, that's going on at Will Rogers. And I think that's about all that's happening. Go watch some TV and tell us about it. And also, I forgot to tell you guys something. Whenever you are, those of you that are audio types that listen to the podcast audio, if you will go to PBR.com, the PBR network, podcast network on PBR.com, you go on there and you find the show on there on the PBR network, and if you will click on Spotify, and the Spotify link from there, not the Spotify you normally look at, because I've got the old original audio shows, and the PBR has a different one. Okay. So if you link to the Spotify connected to the PBR website, you can also watch it on Spotify.
Oh, okay.
So you can listen and watch. So you can be like, what in the heck are they talking about? And then bam, you're looking at it.
Not to give everybody too much homework, don't forget to show love to Anita for the book Freedom. Go to Facebook, find the page for Friends of Freedom, and give them a like.
And she'll send you a book with a scribble on it. She will autograph it for you. Imagine if you go order the book. What's that Facebook group? Friends of Freedom.
The book is Freedom.
And the book is Freedom. And I bet if you buy one of those books and send a little message to her, she'll probably autograph it to your liking. Probably put your name in it.
Maybe.
Possible. That's possible. What else is possible is getting the heck out of here and going home, because I've got to go check on some horses, because I've got one going to a trainer next week, so I need to go give them some food.